Hey y'all, welcome to Black Girl Therapist in the Wild, and this is Therapist Sips and Reviews and Sips, I don't know. So we are drinking today, is it an apple flavored vodka and lemonade? little ratchet lemon drop with our blanket on because it's cold, like really cold in here, and I need the maintenance man to come fix the heater. So there's that. So yeah, today we are reviewing, what are we reviewing? Oh, Hustle and Flow. I shouldn't say spoiler alert because the movie came out in 2005. So if you haven't seen the movie, then you know what? That's none of my business. That's your business. It came out in 2005. So go check it out. It's an entertaining movie. I'll say it's entertaining. Okay, so hold on tight and let's go. So Hustle and Flow, like I said, came out in 2005. It's starring Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson, Anthony Anderson. Let me see. There's a couple more people that are the main people that I'll be talking about, so I want to make sure I say who their names are. Let's see. Taryn Manning, DJ Qualls, even though he's kind of more of a background character. Paula J. Parker and Elise Neal. So those are the main people that I'm going to be discussing. So the goal of these reviews are just to have a little fun, because we do get a little background history of the characters. I can tiptoe into diagnosing a little bit or, suggesting what may be happening to them. But just know that these are fake people. I'm not diagnosing or tiptoeing into diagnosing the actual actors. I don't know those people. I don't know their lives. All I know is the characters in this movie and why some of them may have been doing the things that they are doing. So sit back, relax. This is going to be fun. And let's get it going. So Hustle and Flow is about Terrence Howard's character. His name is DJ. That's D, capital D, J-A-Y. And we come in on a scene. The first scene is him giving what I like to call his pimp pep talks. So he's a pimp, and he lives in the home with 3 of his sex workers. And he's giving one of his sex workers a pimp pep talk, aka gaslighting pretty much. So this is Taryn, the white sex worker. The actress name is Taryn, I think, whatever. Her character's name is Nola. And so basically she throughout this whole film doesn't want to be a prostitute, whatever. It's, she brings it up. She wants to do something more with her life. So every time she comes through with not wanting to be a prostitute, he comes in with his pimp pep talks, just like, men are dogs and, women have to serve or something random. It's gaslighting. Basically, he confuses her to make her think that she needs to be doing these things. So we comment on that, and he really doesn't want to be doing this either. So he's had this long time dream of being a rapper since high school, and that was like one of the thing he was holding on to. He also has trauma in his past because his dad died when he was 12. His dad worked for the school system. So he's just firmly stuck in his past, in his trauma, and in his childhood. And the way he goes about trying to fulfill his dreams throughout the movie until maybe the very end is basically diving into his past. Oh, and I forgot Ludacris is in this movie too. Random, but I wanted to throw that in there because he's a part of the mix. So anyways, giving her this pep talk, she goes and she prostitutes and whatever. And, eventually, he also sells drugs too. He sells weed, not no heroin. Because people say it like that, heroin. He sells weed. So, he goes to this store to buy his new pack of weed, runs into Anthony Anderson's character. Anthony Anderson's character is like a producer, recorder. He doesn't have a studio or anything. He carries around this recorder and he will record people singing at church. He records depositions in court and things like that. So he's just like a freelance recorder, I'm assuming. They didn't really get into it. He just has his box that he carries around with his microphones, and he records things for people. That's what I got from that, okay? So anyways, he meets him at the store, and while he's buying his drugs to sell to other people. And so he meets him there, and they just start chit-chatting about life and reminiscing about high school. Once again, everything in this movie goes back to reminiscing about the past instead of staying focused on the present and what you need to be doing now. Okay, we'll get to that later. So they start reminiscing about how Anthony Anderson's character wanted to be a producer and wanted to, do big things, and how Terrence Howard's character is all like, I was a rapper, and then Anthony Anderson comments about how the teachers used to let him rap over the PA system in high school. Child, is high school. I feel like people just hang on to high school like that was their whole entire lives, and it's like, people that are really stuck in those past situations, it reflects in their present life. Like, they react like a high schooler to conflicts. They have emotional issues a lot of times, especially if you had trauma in high school. I'm not saying just like anybody. Like, trauma could have been like you were a football player and you busted your knee in high school and you didn't get that scholarship you wanted. And that's just what you think about every single day since then. That was your trauma. That was the thing that stuck with you. I find that I was ready to get the hell up out of high school. I find that I did not want to have anything to do with high school once it was over. I still cringe if I see any of my high school compadres, not friends even, just acquaintance, people that I saw around the high school. I still cringe if I see them around. But anyways, so they're reminiscing. He goes to the church and watches Anthony Anderson record this beautiful gospel singer. She's like, I don't know, it's like a mix between opera and gospel, the way she's singing. So he's recording her for whatever reason. I don't know, they never really get into it, but I think they did talk about it. I just forgot why he records people. I think he's a freelance recorder. That's where we're going to stick with it, because every little detail I can't remember. So anyways, he is excused. No, I don't know what that was, if that was on the camera. So he is a freelance recorder. They go to the church, and then Terrence Howard just starts crying, like the one teardrop. The Glory Denzel Washington getting whipped teardrop comes down his eyes. And so, he just has like this seed planted from viewing Anthony Anderson recording this gospel singer. And so he's just like, there's a fire in his butt now. Like, I want to go back to doing what I was doing before. I want to, be a rapper. I want to do this. And then so here comes in Taraji P. Henson's character. Her name is Suge. She is a prostitute. So he lives with 3 prostitutes. One's a white woman that's on the stroll. She prostitutes. One is what's her name? Gummit, forgetting these people's names. I'm not good. I don't know how people can just remember names. I can't. I don't remember names. So my phone froze. So what's her name? The girl from Friday. You ain't got to lie, Craig. Okay, so she prostitutes and she's a stripper. And she also has a child, and she lives in the house with them and her child. And Taraji P. Henderson is a prostitute as well, but she's currently pregnant by one of her tricks. So, the stripper girl is just jaded. She just is done with Terrence Howard's character, DJ. She's done with DJ. She's just like, I'm tired. And so she's just constantly got this attitude going on, throughout the movie, and then Nola, the white girl, she is just like, I'm done with stripping too. I want to be something special, throughout the movie. And then Suge is like, she is sniffing DJ's air, and she is just complacent to everything he says and does. And I guess so DJ goes to her after seeing the gospel singer in the church, he goes to Taraji P. Henson's character Suge, and he's just like, I wanted to do this in the past and I had so many dreams. And then Taraji P. Henson's just laying there like, sometimes I get scared and I have dreams that I'm gonna have headless babies. It's not funny. But it's like, cause Terrence Howard, DJ, he goes, do you ever get scared or something like that? And Suge is like, sometimes I have dreams that I have headless babies and deformed babies and all sorts of bad things come out of my vagina. And it's not funny. Oh my gosh. And Suge has like a little low self-esteem, anxiety type stuff going on. Like you can see it later. She always feels like she's doing something wrong. And she's very childlike. I would tip, not tiptoe, but tip in the same, maybe she has an intellectual disorder just because of the way she comes off a little bit childish, and not childish like immature, but just like a child, like very soft spoken, very wide eyed, very complacent to everything everyone says. You know, but I'm just gonna tip because you need more I need more background, and there's testing for intellectual disorders, so I can't just say maybe she has it. No, I'm just gonna stick with anxiety and low self-esteem because she always is getting down on herself, thinking she's doing something wrong and whatever. So she says all this about headless babies, and that just freaks, DJ out. He's just looking at her like, at first I thought that maybe he just didn't get why and he didn't know how to respond. But in the next scene, he shows up at Anthony Anderson's house with his wife, Yvette, and he's just like, dude, we need to record this music. So I'm guessing that her fears scared him enough to realize, oh, I need to step it up because I need to be more responsible because, she's over here going through something. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping because they stay together. They say this is like the prequel to Empire, but I just feel like the Taraji P. Henson character in this movie is not Cookie. It's not Cookie. It could never be Cookie. No, it's not the same people. And I could see Terrence Howard's character being the same in Empire versus Hustle and Flow, but not Suge. Suge isn't the same. Suge is not Cookie. No, those are two different characters. So anyways, he goes to his house. He's like, we need to record this music. So Anthony Anderson and Terrence Howard, they're on this high of recording this movie. They bring in this mixer, the white guy, what's his name? Whatever his name is. They bring in this dude to help mix and stuff, the music, while Anthony Anderson and Terrence Howard, I'm just gonna say their actual names. I don't know. They set up the studio in one of the spare rooms in the house, and they put the egg crates all over the wall. Not egg. What is the cup holder things all over the wall so that the sound would be like there wouldn't soundproof the wall. There you go. Soundproof. So they soundproof the walls. And they start recording, and then, he's hype, he's getting up, he's just, And then the thing that is the catalyst, because they was getting mad at each other eventually over, Terrence Howard is just flowing, just freestyling. He's not actually creating a song that has a catchy hook and can be released. So Anthony Anderson's like, the fuck, we need an actual song. We can't just keep freestyling and stuff like that. So they start arguing. They almost start fighting, and then Suge comes in random, and she's like, oh well, I seen on the television that all the great singers had the lava lamps in their studios, so I got y'all a lava lamp so that you can have it in your studio and it can bless everything. That's not exactly what she said, but she had a little country accent, very soft, girlish voice, and she said she got a lava lamp for them for their studio. So all of a sudden, Anthony Anderson has an epiphany. I think it was him, or maybe it was the white guy that was a mixer. One of them had an epiphany and was like, maybe we can use her for the hook. So they have her sing the hook. And this is where you can tell she got some self-esteem issues. Some stuff is going on And so she sings the hook. She sings it very well. And then she's just like, am I doing it right? Did I fuck up? Like something happened where they were like excited and then she just thought that she messed up. So you could tell she got like some low self-esteem, some anxiety, something's going on where she doesn't like herself. Okay. So sings the hook. They get the tape together, the recording together. And Terrence Howard's goal is, so Ludacris is in this movie. So Ludacris plays this famous rapper out of Memphis that isn't as famous as he used to be, but he's still famous. So Terrence Howard, let's be real, he made up a story and said that he knew this dude in high school. And so since he knew this dude in high school and he knows the owner, he actually knows the owner of the bar where the dude's gonna be at. That's who he knows. He does not know Ludacris. So Terrence Howard concocts this plan of, I'm gonna go and, give my mixtape, cassette tape in 2005. They had CDs. That's all I'm saying. They had CDs by then, long way into the 2000s. They had CDs, but he had it on a cassette tape. Whatever. We still in the past. We still living back there in high school in 1990, whatever. So he had his stuff on a cassette. It's fine. It's fine. So he has on a cassette tape, and let's get back to the prostitutes in the house. So, the stripper girl gets kicked out because she just snapped. She just tired of this dude making this music and not doing nothing else, and she just is tired. It sounds like she wants some affection from him too, and all sorts of other stuff from him that he's not providing emotionally. So she gets thrown out. He throws her out the house, throws her stuff. Only time he physically put hands on one of the prostitutes in the house, he like grabs her by the throat and stuff like that, and she was just like, do something. While his hands around her throat, he just let her go and threw her out the house. Don't put hands on people. I'm not saying it's okay. I mean, because people be like, he was the nicest pimp ever. He never pimp slapped a hoe, never did nothing. This man gaslighted and brainwashed these women and they were fine with it. That's still doing something. That's all I'm saying. That's still abusive. So he kicks her out the house, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. So now we got Nola, the white girl, and we got Suge, Taraji P. Henson, living in the house. During the course of recording this music, they need like a new microphone, a better microphone, because the one they have is trash and it's distorted. So he goes to the microphone store, the sound store, the music store, whatever it's called. He goes there to get a better studio quality microphone. And what happens is he doesn't have enough money. So he offers Nola to do sexual favors to this old crusty looking man so that he can get his microphone. He just nonchalantly like, oh, you like what you see over there? You can have some of that if you give me both them microphones. He wanted two of them. So Nola's like, I don't want to do this. She having a whole connection, but she ends up doing it anyways because he gives her a pep talk, a short one, tells her to get her ass in there and do what she needed to do, or what he wanted her to do, not what she needed to. And then she comes outside and just like, I want to do more. I want to be more. I just put up with your pep talks because sometimes I need my head messed with, but I know you're messing with my head. So she knows he's gaslighting, bullshitting, and all this other stuff with her just to get her to do things. She's not dumb. We're never dumb. We just allow things. Remember that, people. Never dumb. We're just allowing stuff. Every time you second guess something, that's you allowing something. Like, is he really saying that? And then if the next thought is, no, he couldn't be, then that means you're allowing some stuff. And so she just goes along. So back to him, they finish the recording and whatever. So he makes this plan to meet Ludacris at the club, and he dresses in this outfit that looks like one of those oversized suits that people wear to go on interviews because they don't have any suits, so they have to use their cousin's suit. And then Suge gives him this gold chain with his name on it, DJAY. And he just looks, But anyways, he has one more moment with Suge before he leaves for the club, kisses her and whatever. I think he liked her a lot or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he felt some connection to her because she was pregnant. I don't know. But close spaces, that type of situation. And then the white girl, he didn't really like her that much. He said that he loved her like a brother. That's what he said to the white girl. But I think he really liked Suge for whatever reason. She was very soft and genteel and giving him stuff and caring about him, and and everyone else was just giving the attitude and stuff. So there you go with the one that gives you like gentileness and whatever. So gets to the club, has like super anxiety, like you can tell, like he got to go to the bathroom real quick, he got to smoke a cigarette real quick before he can get up enough nerve to go over to the table and talk to Ludacris. So goes over to the table, talks to Ludacris, and Ludacris don't want nothing to do with him. He's like, what do you want? Leave me alone, I don't know you. And so he gives Ludacris this big old baggie full of weed, like here's some free weed, because the bartender told Ludacris that he was the best weed seller in Memphis. So he gives him a big old baggie full of weed. So Ludacris like, hey, whatever, and then he starts, he lets him sit there, but then he continues to ignore him and then passes the weed around to his friend. So this is what we do. We bring the past up again to get somebody's attention. So he brings up how Ludacris used to rap, not Ludacris, but the guy that he's playing, the Memphis rapper, and how he used to be back in the day, and how he was more real back in the day, and how he wished he would go back to that. And I remember. So then Ludacris is like, oh, you remember me, and I used to be such and such, and whatever, and blah blah blah. And so they get drunk and start talking and reminiscing about the past once again. Like, okay, so they start reminiscing, get more drunk. He slips him his little cassette tape. Ludacris looking at it like, dude, it's 2005. Like, we do CDs. But, they mumble back and forth. And then he puts the cassette tape in his pocket and goes to the bathroom. So, eventually, Terrence Howard, DJ, whatever, has to go to the bathroom too. So he goes to the bathroom, and there's Ludacris sprawled on the floor, Ludacris character, whatever his name was. Sprawled on the floor, drunk, blackout drunk. And so Terrence Howard is going to help him, pick him up. He has his pants around his ankles because I guess he was using the bathroom before he passed out on the floor. So he picks him up and he, helps him out. And he looks down and his cassette tape is in the toilet, girl. And he reached in that nasty ass bar toilet to get his cassette tape. And I could have sworn Anthony Anderson told him that there were CDs in the car before he left to go to the bar. But he went and got the nasty cassette tape out the nasty toilet. It was brown in the toilet. I'm stuck on language. He reached his hand in the toilet for that tape. Like, dude, like, he said there were CDs in the car. Like, he said, just in case there are industry people, I put CDs in the car before he left. Anthony Anderson told him that. Anthony Anderson told him there was. So why are you why didn't you even go out to the car and get a CD? Why didn't you get a CD out the car and leave that cassette? Why does the cassette tape mean so? Because it's a connection to your past. It's a connection to your past. Oh, we used to listen to cassette tapes and then back in the day, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to leave. It's vintage. Like, I just feel, y'all need to get about the past. If it's ruining your life this much, this is struggle, okay? Just because you want to do things like you did in the past. But anyways, so what happens? Oh, so he starts, pistol whipping him, beating him up. I think the dude had a gun or something. Somebody had a gun. And he pistol whipped him. And then his boys came into the bathroom, tried to beat him up, but he got the gun and held one of the dudes high. So it went from all this movie to get to this bar so that you can get this tape to this dude, to you holding some dude hostage at the bar because you trying to get out. He gets out, he gets in his car, he gets home. The police are there, of course. Everybody know who you are. They know your face. You are not some stranger. The dude wasn't dead, thank God. He would have ended up with life in prison. Whatever. So dude wasn't dead. So, he gets to his house. They get him over to the police car, and he tells Nola, the white girl, before he gets hauled off to jail for 11 months, to make sure to get his tape out on the radio and do whatever she can. And he tells her she's in charge. And she's been wanting to feel special, girl. She has been wanting to feel special this whole entire time. She has been wanting to feel like she's important because Suge over there got a baby. Other girl at least work at a strip club legally, even though she prostitute on the side, get her a little extra change. She been wanting to feel like somebody. And so she was just like, I'm in charge. I'm in charge now. And so lo and behold, when you trust in your present and what they can bring you, what it can bring you, magical things can happen. So she hit the pavement running, girl. She was in her little skirt suit, walking around these radio stations. She got his music played, and he got famous. And on top of that, he got famous because he beat Ludacris' ass, and so they thought that was like, clout and whatever. So, things worked out because he trusted in his present. And that is why we use mindfulness. That's why we use mindfulness. We trust in our friends. So this whole movie, he kept messing up because he was stuck in his trauma, kept bringing up his dad dying. His dad was a great man. His dad was a decent dude. It sounded like he worked for the school district and stuff like that. I forgot what he did, administration, something. So, imagine if he had lived. He would have had that good role model to kind of help guide him through, but he did. His dad died. I forgot how he died. It wasn't something nefarious. It was like a heart attack or a car crash or something, like not gang related or drug related or nothing. He was a regular dude, like had a regular job and did regular stuff and stuff like that. So for Terrence to fall into the hood so deeply and become, he was prostituting. He was a pimp since high school, so he dragged this stuff on. He even had an outburst during the movie talking about, I don't want to do this. I hate doing this. This isn't what I wanted for my life. And it's like, if you wasn't stuck in your trauma and didn't decide to just go reach out and get help and support, then you wouldn't have this type of lifestyle. I'm just, but it's hard, trauma and pain, all of that is hard, and so it's hard to lift up out of it. Especially the emotional feelings hurt. They hurt you physically. You got the somatic symptoms of anxiety and depression, make you sick, make you feel uncomfortable and all sorts of things. Headaches, stomach aches, lowered immune system, migraines. People have migraines off of anxiety and depression, y'all. And ain't nothing doctors can do about it. Pills don't work, nothing work. It just hurts. Migraines are uncurable as it is, but for some people, they find the right medication that kills it because for me, I have migraines, and if I take an Excedrin migraine, 2 Excedrin migraines, right when I feel that aura, that tingling start, it just goes away, and I don't have to worry about it. But I have to make sure I eat before I take it, or else it'll make my stomach hurt, and it's horrible. But anyways, yeah, anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, all of these are hard to get through, because in order to get through them, you have to sit with them. You have to sit in your depression and wait for, if you choose medication, wait for the medication to start working. So that's why I say medication with therapy, because while you're waiting for the medication to start working, you're doing coping skills that still make you sit through it, and deal with it for a longer period of time than, say, drinking alcohol would, or taking some other nefarious drug or something would, so that's why it's so easy for people with mental health issues to fall into addiction and fall into life cycles, just to get that, what is it? that adrenaline boost every time they get their thing, their toxic coping skill that they're doing. So like for example with DJ, every time his prostitutes brought in money, there was a boost of feeling that felt like happiness. Every time they were subservient to him and listened to him, there was a boost of adrenaline from attention. So, you know, we get lost in these cycles because they quickly give us that short-term boost of adrenaline and short-term happiness until it goes away. And then we're like depressed and probably even worse off, because if you drink a lot for your depression and anxiety and things like that, once you're done drinking and you get sober, the depression, anxiety is worse. Look at me drinking while I'm saying this. But, you know, I this is why I don't do these videos often. I don't really like alcohol. As you can see, it's still around the same, you know, amount. So there you go. So anything can be a boost for people. Food, drugs, attention, money. You know, that temporary boost that doesn't really do anything because it doesn't last forever. The only thing that lasts forever is having that foundation of liking yourself. And what made it was also interesting to me was that these folks, even though they didn't like the chaos of their life, they thrived in it and they were happy. And like she was happy as long as DJ was giving her attention. She was happy to have the baby, you know, but she still in the background had that low self-esteem and anxiety. And as long as those things that were making her happy doesn't stop, then she probably won't pay attention to that low self-esteem and anxiety, or she'll overly give, you know, but she might not see it as an issue. And that's interesting. I was just like, so these folks have issues like mental health wise, but they may never see these things as issues as long as they consistently get their boost. And the boost isn't like, you know, going to kill them necessarily. So like, let's say if their boost was alcohol, eventually you'll get sick off of that. You get cirrhosis of the liver, cancer, all sorts of things. But if your boost is attention and you're not being overtly abused, you know, physically and things like that, you might not even notice that you're being abused. You might not notice that there's a problem, right? You might just think, well, I just need to do better to get to the next point where I can get another boost where this person can give me attention and love. Like, what if like Suge's baby turns 5 and has a temper tantrum and things like that? She's probably gonna blame herself, think she did something wrong, and try to like overcompensate, you know, for, you know, whatever this baby's temper tantrum is. Like, I'm a bad mother, and because that stuff builds up. So it's like you can be content for so long, but eventually that stuff builds up after a while. I mean, it has to. Like, she has low self-esteem. Like, she has anxiety. Like, DJ is still stuck in the past, I believe. He trusted his present. He trusted Nola. And that's my thing. He should have did that from jump. But since he was stuck in his past, you know, his trauma, being a rapper since high school, the dude that he might have saw in high school from a distance, getting him on, and then using the cassette tape in order to, you know, get his music across, you know. It's like pass, and you got Nola here waiting for her shot, and she hit the pavement and got you played in like a week, 2 weeks, however, a month. I don't know how long it was. They did a time lapse. And you gotta sit here in jail for 11 months when you could have just did this from jump. Like, and then Anthony Anderson told you he had CDs in the car. You could have had the CDs and gave him the CD. He might have respected you more if you had given him the CD. I feel like it would have, you know, just stuck, and it's just sickening. It's like, how many ways are we stuck in our stuff, you know, that it influences, impact. This stuff is avoidable. That's all I'm saying. All this could have been avoidable if he had just, what resources do I have presently? Not resources I would have had if I were a 15-year-old in high school. Because with the mind of a 12-year-old, because his dad died when he was 12. That's his first trauma. That's where he's at emotionally. 12-year-old. Oh, I mean, like, back in the 90s, all we had was cassette tapes. I remember cassette tapes. You know, before that, there was record. My grandma had a record player in her house. It was this big old stereo record player, too. It was long. I was just like, wow. And we only played that thing when I was like in elementary school. That was the last time she ever used that thing. And it was like for the holidays. And that was about it. And so, you know, imagine if I was stuck in elementary school and in my mindset, I would probably have a record player in here because I grew up with older people. Who knows? But I mean, it's like you have to notice when your past is not informing you in a healthy way. So your past can inform you. It can, you know, oh, I went through that, I don't want to go through it again. Or, oh, let me reminisce about going to Disneyland. I miss Disneyland. I'm going to plan a trip back to Disneyland because I remember how fun it was, versus I'm going to let my past inform my whole life and all the decisions that I make career-wise, love interest-wise, and family-wise. I'm going to let my past influence all, because we never see his mom. You know, I think she's there. I think she raised him, so we never see his mom. So for some reason, he's not going around his mom. If I missed that part in the movie, let me know. I don't know. So, yeah, what I got from this movie was, don't be so stuck in your past that it ruins your life. If you feel like you're having all these emotional influxes and traumas and disastrous decision making in like multiple areas of your life, then maybe it's time to say, hey, just like if you had the flu, I have a fever, I need to go to the doctor. And I want to give an honorable mention to Terrence Howard's perm in this movie. Like, they were in the Memphis heat. The heat, they was sweating, it was muggy, they looked dirty most of the time. But that perm, no, that perm didn't frizz not once. That perm was laid slick. And he has 4C hair like mine. I've seen his natural hair. You know, so I was just kind of like, this ain't real, because perms don't do. He must be getting a touch up every 2 weeks as this movie is filming, and he's constantly getting his hair done offset, because he's walking around here looking like he got naturally straight hair all day, every day. I'm like, he's a liar. The roots weren't even a mess. Even when he was in jail and he had them jailhouse cornrows, his roots were straight. I'm just telling y'all, that perm deserves an honorable mention. He took care of that perm. He babied that perm. He knew what the heck he was doing. Y'all. So yeah, that was Hustle and Flow. I'm gonna keep doing. I like these little sips and reviews. I enjoy them. I get to talk and ramble and whatever. You know, I like to ramble. So whatever. I don't remember people's names. I'm not gonna go through the movie piece by piece, but I do remember the important parts to me. And the really pertinent mental health messages in these movies. I'm gonna try to pick movies that, you know, have really pertinent mental health messages. Like, don't do that. Watch this movie and learn. Don't live in your past, because he just kept bringing it up and bringing it up. Like, remember when I was in high school? Remember my dad, man? I got this cassette tape. Don't come for me. My family was from Texas, so I'm trying with my little country accent, okay? You can come for me and tell me, why are you mocking country people? My family was from Texas. I grew up in a house with people that still had their country accents. So, well, my grandma kinda. That was about it. And my aunt maybe a little bit when they got mad or something. So, don't come for me. But yeah, that was a sip and a review. I like that better. A sip and a review. A therapist sip and review. I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but it'll be a surprise. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too unprofessional. I don't know. I just feel like people are just trying their best to be the most professional that they can be. And it's like, we're just people. I'm just a person. I went to college. I studied. I see clients. I do stuff. I live life. And I'm just a person, though, that does personable things, and I was gonna say, and eats. I think I'm hungry. And it is like 10:30 or almost 11 in the morning. I was supposed to do this last night. So I'm also slightly tipsy at 11 in the morning. That's weird. I'm gonna pour this out probably. I'm not drinking all of this. This is horrible. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to you all out there in YouTube land. I saw my what is it? Queen and Slim video. Got like 60 something reviews so far. I mean views, not reviews. Views so far. I thought that was kind of cool. That's cool. 66 people saw that. And I have 17 new subscribers. How you doing, girl? What's up? I hope y'all enjoy my channel so far. I'm new at this, so please be easy on me. I'm just trying something out. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to ramble about. Here comes the yard people making loud noises, so I'm going to go. And as the great Tino from The Weekender says,